the last chapter in Madhya Leela. And a very important chapter. And as we know, it is a continuation of the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami, and is the last ending part of Madhya Leela. A very important chapter where, he's conversing with Prakashanand, the leader of the Mayavadis. So let me share the screen. Just 1 second.
உங்களுக்கு இது கேட்கணுமா இல்ல பார்க்கணுமா?
So, okay, Gauranga. So let's see. Can you all see this? So the chapter, thank you.
Yes,
So the chapter name is How All the Residents of Varanasi Became Vaishnavas. So very interesting chapter, a lot of wonderful pastimes. So let's read one verse and then we will go forward. Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we're reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 25, text 1. Vaishnavi Kritya Sanyasi Mukhankasi Nivashina Sanatanam Susamskritya Prabhu Niladrim Agaman. Vaishnavi Kritya Sanyasi Mukhankasi Nivashina Sanatanam Susamskritya Prabhu Niladrim Agaman. Vaishnavi Kritya Sanyasi Mukhan Kasi Nivashina Sanatanam Susamskritya Prabhu Niladrim Agaman. So anyone would like to repeat? Please try to repeat these verses. Anyone like to volunteer? Don't worry if it is not perfect.
Can I do it, Mataji?
Yes, please.
Vaishnavi Kritya Sanyasi Mukhan Kashi Nivasina Sanatanam Sumukasya Prabhu Niladrim Agamat.
Nice, Madhuri. Thank you. Anyone? 2 more?
Krishna Mataji, I will do it.
Yes, please, Madhuri.
Vaishnavi Kritya Sanyasi Mukhan Kashi Nivasina Sanatanam Susamkritya Prabhu Niladrimagamat.
Thank you, Mataji. 1 more?
Can I do Mataji?
Yes, please.
Vaishnavi Kritya Sanyasi Mukhan Kasi Nivasina Sanatanam Susamskritya Prabhu Niladri Magamat.
Nice, Mataji. Thank you. Okay, so Vaishnavi Kritya, making into Vaishnavas, Sannyasi Mukhan, headed by the Sannyasis, Kasi Nivashinaha, the residents of Varanasi, Sanatana Goswami, Susamskritya, completely purifying, Prabhu, Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Niladrim to Jagannath Puri, Agamat returned. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After converting into Vaishnavas all the residents of Varanasi who were aided by the sannyasis, and after completely educating and instructing Sanatana Goswami there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri. So basically, if you see, I'll come back to this after offering the prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Pashatare Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So basically, in Varanasi is also called Kasi. It's a very holy place. And so when Mahaprabhu actually visited Varanasi, which is otherwise also called the Kasi, generally those days in Kasi, the people were mostly impersonalists. And so impersonalists are those who don't accept the personal form of the Lord. So there were many sannyasis who are called as Mayavadi sannyasis. Why they are called Mayavadi sannyasis? Because they consider the form of the Lord as Maya. They consider the form of the Lord as illusion. So they are called Mayavadis. And so they were very much engaged in discussing about Vedanta. But unfortunately, their understanding of Vedanta was not correct. But we could see that. So the impersonalism was, completely prevalent in that area, in those days. The Mahaprabhu is actually visiting Varanasi. So that time what happened was, I'm just giving you a gist of the story, because in this particular chapter, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he gives a lot of information later, but at some point he informs us that I have given a description in the Adi Leela 7th chapter. So in Adi Leela 7th chapter itself, he has given an introduction about this particular topic which we are discussing. So he don't want to repeat those information which he has given in the first 7th chapter of Adi Leela, which we have already completed. So I thought I'll just give you a little summary of that so that we can understand what we are going to discuss. So basically what happens is that when Mahaprabhu visited Varanasi, and as it is a place of all the Mayavadis, when they saw Mahaprabhu as a young sannyasi engaged in singing and dancing like a madman, they were just laughing at him, and they were actually making fun of him, and they were actually blaspheming the Lord, and they were saying that, this sannyasi is like a madman, he is an illiterate person. He's simply like sentimentalist, dancing and singing, and not engaged in the Vedanta discussions and study. So this was a comment made by, and in fact, every single day they were actually making this kind of very depressing comments. And it was very depressing for the devotees. There were not many devotees at the time, and especially it was Chandrasekhar Acharya and Tapan Mishra. They were there. And that was the time later we see that Sanatana Goswami joined. So they were so worried, the devotees, who were there at that point of time. They were very worried to hear about this kind of a blasphemy about the Lord, because devotees are naturally, they don't bother if someone blasphemes them. But if someone blasphemes the Lord, then they cannot tolerate. And that is the true devotee, because if someone blasphemes me, what is so great about me anyway? I'm a very insignificant person. Let anyone speak anything about me, because I'm very insignificant and anyway I'm not qualified. So that is the mood of a devotee. But when they talk about the Lord, when they hear the blasphemy of the Lord, they cannot tolerate. So they were very, very concerned. And at this point of time, Mahaprabhu did not bother. He smiled when people were blaspheming him. He just smiled. And then he was actually, he went to Mathura. And he was in Mathura for some time, and then he returned back again to Varanasi. So that time, he was staying in Chandrasekhar Acharya's house. So that was the time the devotees, were putting the petition to the Lord. My dear Lord, this blasphemy against you is breaking our heart. Please do something. It's breaking our heart. We cannot tolerate anymore. It is better to give our lives rather than hearing blasphemy about you. So they were very, very morose. So at that time, there was one Maharashtrian Brahmana. He came there because the Lord, his Bhaktavatsala is very dear to the devotees. He could understand the devotees are so broken-hearted. So to relieve them from the pain, the Lord made a plan. And as per the Lord's plan, this Maharashtra Brahmana came. And he put a petition in front of the Lord. My dear Lord, I have actually invited all the sannyasis in Varanasi for a feast, for lunch. And I would request you, my dear Lord, please do come. So this was an invitation given by the Brahmana. Generally, Mahaprabhu won't go anywhere. He was aware of it. But he was just requesting the Lord, please, out of your costless mercy, please come. And because the Maharashtrian Brahmana, he could understand that if Mahaprabhu comes, to his home, when all the sannyasis are present, and when they see the Lord's personal characteristics, his beauties, qualities, naturally do transform their hearts. That is the reason he invited, because he thought, I can't also keep on hearing this blasphemy. I want to do something about it. Because I belong to this place and I have to live in this place, but I can't be just hearing things against the Lord. So with that intention, he came to invite the Lord, and the Lord could understand the heart of all the devotees. And then he said, yes. So the next day the Lord went. When he went, he could see that all the Mayavadi sannyasis were seated. So Mahaprabhu, when he went, the first thing he did was he offered obeisances to all the Mayavadi sannyasis. And then he took a seat near the cleaning place, where people wash their hands. So when the Mayavadi sannyasis saw that, they were stunned by the humility of the Lord. And the next thing was the Lord exhibited his mystic powers by, manifesting an effulgence, which is as brilliant as millions of suns. So when they saw the beautiful illumination of the Lord's body, the Mayavadi sannyasis were completely attracted. Everyone got from their seat, and they were just, bow down, and they were requesting the Lord, please. And the head of the Mayavadis, Prakashananda Saraswati, he went personally to the Lord, and then he requested, Lord, please, sir, why are you sitting in this unclean place? Please come and take a seat. Then he requested the Lord out of his, he's the supreme personality of God, but the mood of humility, the Lord said, I am just a very insignificant sannyasi. I'm not taken sannyas from a very high class, the class of sannyasis. So because those days there are certain class of sannyasis were considered a very high class, and certain class were considered a bit inferior. So Mahaprabhu said that I received from an inferior class of, sannyas. So, I am not qualified to sit, near all of you. So he was speaking like that, and when So when the sannyasis saw the Lord's humility and beauty, they are completely attracted. So one of the weapons of the Lord, beauty is considered one of the weapons of the Lord, of Mahaprabhu. So then when they were so charmed by the brilliant effulgence and the beautiful transcendental form of the Lord, they were stunned. And then they asked a question. So they gave a seat. And then the leader of the Mayavadis, he was inquiring, you're so brilliant and you look, you're looking like Narayana himself. But as a sannyasi, you should be doing the Vedanta, the study of Vedanta, but you have given up that and you're simply dancing and chanting. May we know the reason why you do that? So then Mahaprabhu said that my spiritual master said that I am a fool. I can't understand any of this. I'm not that intelligent to study the Vedas. So he told me that you just chant the holy name of the Lord. That is ultimate perfection of life. Just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can awaken the dormant love of God. And he said that there is no other solution, for the person who is, in this Yuga, Kali Yuga, it is the Yuga Dharma. Harinama, 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 Vahi Kevalam, Kalau Nasyeva, Nasyeva, Nastyeva, Gatir Anyata. There's no other destination. There is no other solution. So my spiritual master said that you simply chant the holy name of the Lord. So that is the reason I started chanting the holy name of the Lord. And sometimes, I get into ecstasy and then I dance, I cry, and all these different bodily, symptoms appear. It is naturally coming out, So I went to my spiritual master and said, what kind of a mantra have you given me? That this mantra is actually, I'm becoming mad and ecstatic, and then all these different bodily symptoms are, coming, in my body, and, I just can't control it. I'm just dancing, crying, sometimes trembling, tears are rolling down from my eyes, hairs are standing on end. I can't just stop. Then my spiritual master said, my dear child, this is what happens when a person chants the holy name of the Lord. He achieves the perfection of love of Godhead, and when he achieves the perfection of Krishna Prema, all these bodily symptoms manifest. And I am so glad that you have achieved the perfection of this life, and I am so glad that you have got it and you have achieved it. So you keep on chanting and dancing. And moreover, you go and distribute this Krishna Nama to everyone, whereby all the fallen souls can be liberated. Instruction I got from my spiritual master. And when Mahaprabhu was explaining all these things, all the Mayavadi sannyasis headed by Prakashananda Saraswati were just, were completely stunned, and they were, motionless, and they were thinking what the Lord said was absolutely wonderful. Their hearts started transforming, and then they asked a question. Okay, my dear Lord, whatever you have said is so wonderful, so amazing. Okay, so the Lord was keep on explaining the glories, which we will see later. But then later we see that how, then they will ask about, how the, okay, so this is all fine, but why you don't want to study the Vedanta philosophy? So then Mahaprabhu explains about, the direct meaning of Vedanta philosophy. He was saying that, Shankaracharya came and gave an indirect meaning. And that was also plan of the Supreme Lord. Because people were at that time completely engaged in killing the animals. So when someone is engaged in animal killing, they won't be able to understand the scriptures. They won't be able to understand anything about God. When the quality of mercy is lost, how can you actually understand the supreme personality of God who is all merciful? So that means we have to make people give up this killing of animals. So the Lord came in the form of Buddha, and he propagated the philosophy of non-violence so that the people will give up killing of animals. Then Shankaracharya, who is the incarnation of Lord Shiva, came to establish, to remind people, it is not just the killing of animals, stopping killing the animals, but you have to come back, to take up this Vedanta, Vedic study. So he wants to remind people of their spiritual identity. You're not this body, your soul. So Shankaracharya came, and gave a philosophy which is like covered Buddhism, which is basically an atheistic philosophy, because people can't immediately understand a very higher philosophy. If a child is only a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, can only digest a little bit. But when the child grows, bigger and bigger, then the quantity of the food increases. So now people have given up Vedas because they were killing animals in the name of Vedas. So to bring them back to Veda, to the study of Vedas, you can't just give the ultimate goal of Veda. That would be undigestible. So he gave a very simple thing, a simple spiritual philosophy for them to, take it up. But that's not the all in all. So Mahaprabhu gave the direct philosophy and then made them understand what actually Vedanta. Anta means end. The end of Vedas is to know the Supreme Personality of God. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedaisha sarvair aham eva vedyo vedanta vedavit eva chaham. I am to be known in the Vedas. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedas. If someone is not able to understand Krishna as the ultimate goal of life after studying the Vedanta, Vedic philosophy or Vedic study, that means their conclusion is not correct. It's not complete. So in that way, Mahaprabhu defeated the Mayavadi sannyasis, and they all became great devotees of Mahaprabhu, and they also joined Mahaprabhu in the Sankirtan movement. So this is just a little summary so that we can understand further. Okay, so this is all there. If you want to know more, please refer to Adi Leela, 7th chapter. It's very beautiful explanation. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, so when the Mayavadis criticized, when the Mayavadis criticized the Lord, the devotees became depressed. So the Lord wanted to, defeat this Mayavadis. So that is the main reason. So from that day onwards, what happened? Because the entire Varanasi is becoming now devotees. So people are crowding, to come and see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And whatever questions they have, they were asking the Lord and, getting the answers. And then their hearts were completely satisfied. And they also chanted the holy name and joined the Lord in the Sankirtan movement. So all those sannyasis, gave up their Vedanta studies and took up devotional service of the Lord. So one of the disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati approved Lord Chaitanya's words. He said that Lord Chaitanya, you're not different from Narayana himself. You're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You have satisfied us. Just by hearing you, our hearts are completely satisfied. And you have given the real purport of the Upanishads and the Vedanta Sutra. So then Mahaprabhu then started giving, explaining about, and he was saying that the explanation which you gave about the holy name, because one of the reasons Mahaprabhu came is to give holy name to everyone, right? That is one of the purpose of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, we see that the internal reason is that Mahaprabhu want to relish the mood of Srimati Radharani, who is the topmost devotee of the Lord. How my devotees love me, why they love me. I want to relish that love. So he took the mood and color of Srimati Radharani and came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's an internal reason. And the external reason is to give out this Hare Krishna mantra for the people of Kali Yuga, so they can be freed from their sinful reactions and they can awaken the dormant love for Krishna. So that is the main purpose Mahaprabhu came, to give up the holy name. Enechi aushadi maya nasibaro lagi, Hare Krishna Mahamantra lao tumi magi. I brought this great medicine for you. So Mahaprabhu is telling, I have got this great medicine because we are afflicted, the disease of material existence. We are burning in this fire of material existence, And what is the medicine? Who will be actually helping us? Mahaprabhu says, I have come to give you this great aushadi, which will cure you from all the diseases. So that was the main purpose of Mahaprabhu's descent to this material world. So by just chanting the holy name of the Lord, and he showed by example, because the Lord came in the mood of a devotee, and then he showed by himself how to chant the holy name. So this is the power of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just by chanting, one's heart gets completely purified. So Mahaprabhu is describing the effects of chanting the holy name of the Lord. And we also know in the devotees who are chanting currently, we know how we were before and how we are now. We can definitely see the difference, isn't it? At least there is some difference. The more we are sincere, we can see a greater difference. At least we see that there are many bad qualities or bad motives or bad, whatever was there before. They are all at least, reducing. Maybe the anger is reduced, or some of the qualities, it could be gross, some bad qualities. Maybe somebody was drinking or, smoking or, involved in so many bad things and they have given up that. Or there are subtle things like anger, envy. It's still there, maybe not completely gone, but we can see a greater difference. And the quality of life, even though there are same situation could be there, but we see that even in this situation, how we are much more optimistic, confident, and then, our perceptions are, are now streamlined, and then we are actually going in the right direction. So we see there are a lot of difference. And then if with that faith, if we keep doing it, we see that, all those other bits and pieces which are still remaining can be eliminated, and we can actually achieve the ultimate goal of life, even in this same life. That's what Srila Prabhupada said, why to wait for another life? We can get it, we can achieve it in this life itself. So that's the thing. So then, so basically the Mayavadis, they derive the personal form of the Lord, but actually we know that the absolute truth is realized in three forms: Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Sabdyate. So the Lord can be understood in, absolute truth can be understood in three features. One feature is the Brahman feature, which is an impersonal feature. And the second feature is the Paramatma, the Lord, the Lord who is residing in the heart of everyone. And the third one is the personal feature of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada compares this to the sun disk and the sun god. So, the sunshine, sun disk and the sun god. So sunshine is only a partial understanding of sun. It is not the complete understanding of the sun. Similarly, the impersonal feature of the Lord is only a partial understanding of the absolute truth. It is not the complete understanding. So, so that's what Mahaprabhu is explaining to the Mayavadis, that you have only understood one feature of the Lord, and then you are claiming that to be the ultimate, which is not correct. So the Lord is giving a lot of explanation, and making them understand the Lord has a beautiful personal form, which is not, we should not compare that with a normal condition living entity, because our body perishes, but whereas the Lord's body is transcendental. Satchit Ananda. So that's why, it is a transcendental body. And it is very difficult to understand. That's why Krishna says that one who has understood my janma and karma, they will never take birth again. It sounds very simple, but it's very difficult to understand. Only a purified soul can understand that the Lord's janma and karma is not like our janma. We take birth, we die, and then we take another body. It's like that. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vekti tatvataga tatva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. Whoever has understood that my janma, my birth, my appearance, and karma, my activities are transcendental, divyam, then they will never take birth again. So that's the point. So Krishna is the cause of all causes. Krishna's form is so wonderful and amazing. You see the scriptures throughout glorify Krishna's beautiful transcendental form and his qualities. Now Krishna Janmashtami is coming. It's a wonderful meditation, the 64 qualities of the Lord. Many great devotees have given talks on the 64 qualities of the Lord in YouTube. You can find that, you can hear. And Srimad Bhagavatam gives a lot of description. Srimad Bhagavatam is all about, it's a lab, it is a Vedic encyclopedia, not just a Vedic encyclopedia, which is talking about the wonderful glories of the Lord, the different incarnations of the Lord, all the 64 qualities we can see in the form of the pastimes, especially the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is full of stories. And in each of the story, is not just a story, but the story, there is a lot of life lessons to learn. Very amazing. So one of the stories we will see here. That's the thing. So when we have Srimad Bhagavatam, we can actually appreciate the Lord's forms, qualities, and pastimes. So it's a book to be present in everyone's house, not just present as it is, but if we read and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, we can develop a great attraction to the Lord. We see here that Krishna says that who will derive my personal form? Only fools. Avajananti mamuda manusham tanum ashrutaha. Krishna says only fools derive me when I come in a manushya form. When I come in a human form, fools derive me because they cannot understand that my form is transcendental. So Mahaprabhu is explaining all that. Then Mahaprabhu is visiting this beautiful temple of Bindu Madhava. So when he visited the Bindu Madhava temple, when he saw the form of the Lord, Mahaprabhu went into ecstasy. So, and then they together, Sanatana Goswami was also there, and all other associates were there, and thousands of people gathered. And Mahaprabhu, when seeing the beautiful form of Bindu Madhava, he was manifesting all the bodily ecstatic symptoms, and all the devotees started, performing Nama Sankirtan. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama. So everyone were in ecstasy singing Nama Sankirtan and hearing this wonderful Kirtan and the beautiful dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thousands of people came and they began to chant Hari, 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 Hari. So everywhere the word Hari resounded, and this tumultuous sound filled the entire universe. So when they heard this wonderful ecstatic singing of Mahaprabhu's associates, and Prakashananda Saraswati and all the other sannyasis also gathered there. So we can see that how the Prakashananda Saraswati was charmed by the Lord's dancing and beauty. So Mahaprabhu manifested so many bodily transformations like trembling, perspiration, and tears that made the people wet, and eruptions that appeared like kadamba flowers. All the residents of Kasi were astonished to see the Lord's jubilation, humility, and to hear him talk in ecstasy. Then Mahaprabhu came to his external senses, and when he saw all the Mayavadi sannyasis were gathered, then he suspended, the dancing for some time. So then what happened? Then Mahaprabhu praised when he saw Prakashananda Saraswati. He praised that, I am just very insignificant, I can't even be compared to, to your disciples. I can't be your level of a disciple of your disciple. So in that way, he was glorifying Prakashananda Saraswati. But then Prakashananda Saraswati said a very wonderful point. My dear Lord, my previous offenses of blaspheming you is now counteracted because I have touched your lotus feet. And he gave one very beautiful example from Srimad Bhagavatam. And this example is that once Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's father Nanda Maharaj, and all the cowherd men of Vrindavan, they went to forest, to Ambikavan. And that night they all stayed there, and they were fasting and they were staying there. All of a sudden, one big serpent came and started swallowing Nanda Maharaj. And immediately Nanda Maharaj called out, "Oh Krishna, please save me from this danger." So then, Krishna came there and Krishna touched his lotus feet, touched the serpent with his lotus feet. And immediately by the touch of Krishna's lotus feet, the big serpent got transformed to a beautiful Devata, Vidyadhara. And then the serpent and that, the Devata, Vidyadhara, circumambulated the Lord and paid obeisances to the Lord. And that he said that, "Oh, my dear Lord, I was a serpent, in my previous life, but by your touch, I got transformed, into this beautiful body again. I actually, made fun of Angira Rishi in my last birth because I was so proud of my beauty. And Angira Rishi was looking very ugly. And I was just, kind of, making fun of him out of pride. And the Angira Rishi cursed me that you become a serpent. And from that time onwards, I was suffering in this serpent body. But now I feel that this curse was not at all a curse, because by this curse, I've got your, touch of your divine lotus feet. So Vidyadhara was glorifying Krishna, the touch of Krishna's lotus feet. And here, Prakashananda Saraswati, quoting this beautiful pastime, relating this pastime, he said that by touching your lotus feet, my dear Lord, I have committed a lot of offenses. Because as you know, the Mayavadi sannyasis, all of them, headed by Prakashananda Saraswati, they were actually just to keep on, ridiculing the Lord before. So he clasped the lotus feet of the Lord and he was begging to forgive for all of it. So that is the power of Krishna's lotus feet. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was descended to give out this holy name in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So then what happened? Prakashananda Saraswati glorified, "You're the Supreme Lord Krishna, yet you're considering yourself as a servant. You're worshipable and much greater, and all my spiritual achievements have been lost because I have blasphemed you." It is mentioned that if someone blasphemes a great soul, he loses his lifespan, opulence, position, all the wealth, so all the sukritis. So that's what happens when someone blasphemes a great devotee. So then he says, out of millions of materially liberated people and perfected people, there is hardly one pure devotee is completely satisfied and peaceful. So that means taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet or taking shelter of Krishna's devotees' lotus feet. The Mahatmas, the pure devotees' lotus feet. By taking shelter of the lotus feet of the pure devotees, we can all of our, unwanted things and all our sinful reactions are vanquished. That's the power of the lotus feet of the devotee. So then Prakashananda Saraswati begs for forgiveness, and then he praises Lord Mahaprabhu, and then he requests the Lord to explain the direct meaning of Vedanta Sutra, which we will see in the next class. Okay, so now we will see, it's a very interesting chapter, a lot to learn. Such a very, what I should say, strong Mayavadi, Prakashananda Saraswati, having thousands of disciples, completely got transformed, not only himself, but all his disciples also. They became devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's what is the chapter all about. There is more to go, more nectar to come. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is so wonderfully winding up this chapter, which we will be seeing. So we request all the devotees, if you can, consistently attend this session, you will really enjoy the nectar of Chaitanya Charitamrita, especially beautiful, beautiful verses. We see in this particular chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhya-lila. Okay, so let's see. It's now September 29th, as we were saying, is a Bhadra Purnima, which is the auspicious day to, give Srimad Bhagavatam as a charity to others. So, and Srimad Bhagavatam is a book Srila Prabhupada wanted in every gentleman's house, because there is so much one can get benefited. Sorry. I think maybe it was added at the end. I will have to cross through the questions. Let me okay. See, these are the devotees who have already sponsored at the moment. Madhukolya Mataji, Shiraj Laturia, Pavan Sharma, Ritesh Agarwal, Venuvadana Prabhu, Hitendra and family, Sangeeta Mataji, Shri Lakshmi Mataji, Yamini Mataji. So you have two options of sponsoring. One is that you can either sponsor a book, a set of Bhagavatam and keep for yourself, or you can gift it to people here in London, which is £175. And you can also sponsor a set for your friends or family in India. That costs £99. The same Bhagavatam, but in India, as you know, it is cheap. Here the shipping costs and many other things are involved. So either you can sponsor a set for someone in India, or you can sponsor for yourself, for any of your family members here. But a lot of blessings. And especially in India, what happens is that not only to your friends and family, but you can do something called village. Basically, your books are sponsored. If you sponsor that, it will go for people in villages. Our villages need our help. Help preserve agriculture. Sponsor the most sacred of our Vedic Srimad Bhagavatam. We will place your sponsored books in community areas across villages. And there are many, many places the Bhagavatam sets are placed. We will show you in a video next time with all the details. So it is happening. Either you can give to your friends, or you can give it to, you just sponsor, and then with your family name and everything, and that will go to one of the villages who cannot, and it can go in any language you like. It could be in Andhra Pradesh, where you want it in a Telugu language. You may want to send it to Tamil Nadu, where it could be in a Tamil language, or it could be any parts of North India where you want in a Hindi set. yes, whatever language you prefer, please refer. You can choose the language also. So in that way, the people are also getting benefited. Our Vedic culture, why it should be in one place, it has to spread across everywhere. So that is also distributing knowledge is considered as one of the greatest charity. It's a true charity as well. So please take part in this great charity. You can do that, and if you are interested, I mean, if you like to, please contact. You can even put it in the before end of the class. You can put it in the chat box also, or you can unmute and share your thoughts on it, and or you can approach your leaders, and sponsor. And we will we will pray for all the devotees who have already sponsored. So we will chant at the end 3 times for them. If you are joining the team, please do let us know. Okay, let me go back to the previous one. We will now go back to the quiz. Okay. Hi. So I would request Vinil to take over the quiz. Are you there? Hi, Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dharma Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All Shishla Prabhupada. So, Ranjani Mai Prabhu is not available today, so I'll be doing the quiz today. So, yeah, let's start with question 1. So, who is the leader of the Mayavadis? A. Tapan Mishra, B. Chandrasekhara, C. Prakashananda Saraswati, D. Paramananda Puri. So let's see. So the correct answer is C. Prakashananda Saraswati. So let's see. We have Kartik Prabhu, we have Sunena Mataji, and then we have Sangeeta Mataji. Jaya. Let's go for question 2 now. Mayavadis are A. Fruity focus, B. Personalist, C. Impersonalist, and D. Devotees. So the correct answer is C. Personalist. So we have Sunena Mataji, Maladharani Mataji, and Kartik Prabhu, the first top 3. So question 3 starts from here. What did Mahaprabhu say that his spiritual master asked him to do? A. Reading Vedanta, B. Chanting the holy name, C. Performing meditation, D. Undergo austerities. So the correct answer is B. Chanting the holy name. We have Sunena Mataji, Kartik Prabhu, and Maladharani Mataji. Question first starts from here now. Who got liberated from the serpent body after touch of Krishna's lotus feet? A. Kesi, Bakasura, Vidyadhara, and Agashura. So we quite have a different answers here. Some are saying C, some are saying D. So let's wait.
Answer is
So the correct answer is C. And we have Sunaina Mataji, Ramesh Prabhu, and Lalita Mataji. So question 5 starts from here. Which philosophy is called covered Buddhism? A. Mayavada, B. Dvaita, C. Achinta Bheda Dvaita Tattva, and D. Vishishta Dvaita. Yep, the correct answer is A. So we have Sunaina Mataji, Kartik Prabhu, and Maladharani Mataji. Haribol. So I'll shortly announce the quiz answers in a while the announcements are going on. So yeah.
Due to time constraint, 1 or 2 points, if you can share, we'll quickly move to the next. There should be always a takeaway, isn't it? What are the takeaway? Janmashtami is also coming up. It would be always nice. Janmashtami is on the 7th, which is the Thursday. And Friday is Srila Prabhupada appearance day, a very important day. And because and then 9th is the celebration at Manor, 9th and 10th. So it's a celebration week, Krishna's appearance and Srila Prabhupada's appearance. So whatever we hear, whenever we hear anything, it's always nice to see what is that which I can take to enrich my life, which I can add on in my life, so I can progress more. So with that intention, when we hear and see and do things, we see that we actually greatly improve. So is there any in chat box, or you want to today's one? What is that? So please write about it. I will in the meantime refresh this one. Sorry. You see anything? Can you read, Vinil, can you read any message there?
There's no message so far. So anyone would like to share what they have, any key points that they have learned from today's session from Prakasha and the Saraswatis? Yes, we have Lalita Mataji. Being touched by Krishna's lotus feet, a serpent was immediately freed from sinful. Yeah, and with Maladharani Mataji saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, still how humble he was in preaching. Yeah. Anyone else would like to share? Yeah, maybe we can move on to the announcements now.
Benefits. Angita Mataji said.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. So Chaitanya Leela Amrita Pura, Krishna Leela Sukar Pura, Duhe Mili Haya Sumadurya, Sadhu Guru Prasade, Tahaye Asavade, Sejana Madhurya Prachurya. The pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are full of nectar, and the pastimes of Lord Krishna are like camphor. So when one mixes these, they taste very sweet. By the mercy of the pure devotees whoever tastes them can understand the depths of that sweetness. Yeah, so we are getting this opportunity on a weekly basis to enjoy the nectar of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also the pastimes of Krishna from Grace Yamnesh Mataji, and we should get the mercy to advance further in the Krishna consciousness. So let's grab this opportunity on weekly basis. Thank you.
Announcements. So we have 7th, as I was just mentioning, Janmashtami till midnight. So it's whoever can fast until midnight. If they cannot, then probably take whatever you can, maybe with fruits, or if not. The main thing is to chant the holy name. We see Mahaprabhu said the Lord Krishna himself came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give out the holy name. So it's very wonderful. So Janmashtami day we increase more chanting, more seva, and whatever more we can do for the Lord. If someone, for devotees who are already practicing, even for those who are not, is an opportunity, to do something more for the Lord. It's like someone is very close to us, very dear to us. If it is their birthday, what we would do? We would like to do whatever they like, and also like to give them a gift. So it is Krishna's appearance day. What gift are we going to give? Yes, we can give material gift also. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam, even a flower, fruit, water, if you offer with love and devotion, I will accept. So Janmashtami day, certainly we can take something for the Lord. So that is something external. But the real gift, these are all easy gifts, because buying a flower, buying a fruit, taking a gift and going, it's just one time, buy, get and go and give. But to make a commitment or to make a step forward, what Krishna likes, I think it is that is something much more dearer to the Lord. Say, for example, if it is a father, mother, or husband, or a wife, or if they like something and then you do something for them, okay, my father likes to, want me to act in this particular way, so I will do like this. Certainly that will be very pleasing to a father. Or a wife thinks, my husband likes me to talk in this way, or me to do like this, and you make a step, yeah, certainly it will be very pleasing to them. That is a greater step than just giving a one-time gift. So here Krishna also likes, when we make that a higher step of, making a commitment to chant, or maybe, Krishna, Krishna likes what Krishna likes. Krishna gives a lot of instructions in Bhagavad Gita, that who is very dear to him. Krishna becomes very dear when especially we are, kind to everybody, especially to all, not only to devotees, to everyone, at least to the devotees, in the sense that we give up all this inimical mood differences, and a cooperative spirit. And Prabhupada appearance also, that's the best gift. Prabhupada wanted all of us to cooperate together. That's one of the very important thing, that giving up the differences. Definitely, yes, each individual is different, and we carry our different ideas and things like that. But when we serve together, we give up all the differences and see that what is pleasing to Prabhupada, keeping that as a goal, then all of our differences we can easily give up. But if I want me to be the center, everyone should recognize me. My way of service is the best service, or I did more, or mine is the best. If we want to show ours is the best, that mood, when it comes, then definitely there will be a lot of difference. And we may please, our senses may get pleased for a while, but our heart will not get pleased, because Krishna won't be pleased. Unless Krishna gets pleased, the soul doesn't get pleased. The Ayatma Suprisaditi, only when the soul gets pleased, only when the Lord gets pleased. So if we want true satisfaction in our spiritual life, or then we should try to satisfy the Supreme Lord. And then automatically we feel that we are very pleased completely our heart gets pleased and satisfied. So one of the things which we can offer to Srila Prabhupada as a gift is to work in a cooperative spirit, put all the differences aside and then work together. And then keeping Prabhupada disciples, all of them, their mood was to only please Prabhupada. But many times when we do devotional service, we say it is devotional service, but how much we remember Krishna or how much we remember Prabhupada. We only remember ourselves, our image. Even if it is a service, for example, a service of singing, how much we remember Krishna while singing. We remember what people will think about my singing. Is everyone listening to my singing? Is my voice good enough? It is all about my voice and myself. There is no Krishna there. Similarly, when I'm giving a class, how many people attended the class today? How many likes? How many people are responding? How many people open the video and listening? Or how many people are, actually listening? If my mind goes in all these things, what kind of class are we giving? That means it is about you, your image, and you, what people are thinking about you. There is no Krishna, there is no Prabhupada. So it is devotional service, but it is actually not devotional service. It is service to myself, my senses. So being practicing devotees, we need to see what am I actually doing in the name of devotional service. Whether it could be cleaning a temple. Even in cleaning a temple, we can become proud. I cleaned very nicely. Or serving the deities also. I decorated very nicely. My decoration is the best. I select the best jewelry. So we can be proud in everything. And we saw the power of proud, being proud, what happens. The Vidyadhara, power of, he was proud of his beauty. So Krishna gives a lesson. So similarly, we are proud of many things, even though actually, there are many people who actually got many things greater than us. But still, the sense, we are so conditioned that we feel proud of so many insignificant things. So it's one of the, could be the meditation and prayer to the Lord that, my dear Lord, when the day will come, I really want to make an effort that I am not meditating on myself. I'm not meditating on my image. I'm not meditating on what I will get. Rather, I meditate on you. I meditate on Srila Prabhupada, meditate on the pure devotees, meditate on this Guru Parampara, and I meditate that how I can please them when the day will be mine. At least let me actually start working on it. So if that can be a prayer and an effort, it is a desire backed by endeavor. Not just a desire alone, but a desire backed by endeavor, then Krishna becomes really pleased and he will give us that mercy one day that our heart is like doing everything only for Krishna. How nice it is, isn't it? Otherwise, always this I, my, and mine is coming and bothering so much and polluting our consciousness. So that's why we are not truly happy, truly blissful, even after a greater service. Because all this I, me, mine are contaminating the consciousness like anything. So it could be a prayer to Srila Prabhupada, to Krishna, that I truly want to serve you for your pleasure. And I want to make an effort. I want to seriously make a conscious effort. So that could also be a prayer. In that prayer, when we do things, we will accommodate and embrace everyone. There won't be any enemies. There won't be anyone competitors. Please Krishna. And that is a truly blissful state of performing any service. So that could be one of the meditation. So yeah, so it's a very blissful days coming up. Let's get up for that. For Janmashtami, Prabhupada Appearance Day, and the other 2 days of festivities. Let's take so many people also along with that. Not just we are going, we want to take as many people with us so that they can also get this wonderful opportunity of Krishna consciousness, and they can also, get connected, to this process. Yes, so let's see so these are the flyers we have here. So we have the celebration both in, Soho Street and in the Bhaktivedanta Manor. So wherever you can attend on 7th and 8th, you can do so. And then the weekends, there is a celebration at Manor. Okay, so we saw that. Please, if anyone like to, sponsor, please come forward. Okay, let's see the result. Vinal, are you there?
Yeah, so for the first place today, we have from Mathura, and that is you have to click on next.
Huh? Start. Here you have to click. Okay.
Yes, we have Sunaina Mataji from Mathura, and Mataji has acquired 5 Gaura Nakshatras. Haribol.
Haribol.
Second place we have from Jagannath Dham, and that is Kartik Prabhu. And from Dwarkadam, we have Maladani Mataji for the 3rd place, and Mataji has got 1 Gaura Nakshatra. Haribol to all the winners.
Haribol to all the devotees. Wonderful, very nice. Okay, so I'll quickly show the darshan. We're running late for Jagannath darshan, and wishing you all a very blissful Janmashtami and Prabhupada appearance day ahead. So I'm just showing the darshan now quickly. Hi Krishna, can you see?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Can you see Prabhu?
Yeah, 1 second. I think we can.
Oh, I think I have to sorry, the screen. Just a moment. Just a moment. Stop share.